This is LA's first.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. We're all about manifestation, transformation, and breakthroughs. It's time to claim your birthright of prosperity, vitality, and love. So grab your tea or coffee because together we're awakening the world. May you live your truth. Just taking a deep breath in through the nose and exhaling out and just knowing the truth. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door will be open to you. What I know for sure is if you are on this podcast, you most likely have had a divine spiritual calling. I recognize that desire, that seed that has been planted in your heart would not be planted there if it was not your full potential. And so today I want to break on down how to monetize as a spiritual coach. I recognize for myself, I had a calling for many, many years, but I had no idea how to monetize. I was frustrated. I was overwhelmed. I was a young mother. I was actually waiting tables of all things. And I just could not figure out how I would ever turn my passion for spirituality into a career. I realized that money was something that I really needed to take a look at, that it was something that had been programmed so deeply through the culture, through my lineage, through my parents, through myself, of realizing how much scarcity I really had. And when I began to do my inner work and my inner healing, I recognized that that was outpicturing in my life. It all came down to my own self-worth. So today, I just want to say welcome. Welcome to the Dr. Erin podcast. We come together to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law so that we can truly, truly bring our greatest product here in this lifetime, which is ourselves, our highest version of ourselves. And so I recognize that the reason why 8 out of 10 coaches fail is because their subconscious limited beliefs. We recognize that is like common knowledge now in the, in the coaching world, in the psychology world, and even in science, understanding epigenetics, understanding it's all energetic ties here. So the reason why 8 out of 10 coaches fail is because their subconscious limited beliefs are blocking them from success. And secondly, they don't have a proven sales and marketing system, a strategy. And so today I want to break on down my personal methodology. I have been seeking truth for 25 years. And as a doctor of divinity, I have really dived deep, deep, deep into, of course, all of what it means to transform your trauma, everything that it means to reprogram a subconscious mind, everything that it means to really be an empowered spiritual being here, living our purpose, leaving our legacy. And I am going to share that actual framework with you here today. And then I also have dived deep and spent, hundreds of thousands of dollars on my self-development and diving into a methodology and the most trusted, proven system in the industry, an actual step-by-step process, truly and truly. And so here today, this is all for what I am super excited to announce, which is a 3-day challenge, a free 3-day challenge on how to monetize as a spiritual coach. And it is really in what we teach, which is serving, serving, serving. We understand the law of compensation. We understand that whatever we give out to the world, we have to be compensated. If we want value, we have to give value. If we want love, we have to give love. If we want vitality, we've got to give energy, and so on and so forth. And so today, I just invite you. I invite you to open your mind. I invite you right now to put away everything. I invite you to take this time to invest in yourself. Truly and truly, you deserve it. Because if you really, truly have had a divine spiritual calling and you really want to make a difference on this planet, it's not about the money. The money is the effect, okay? I'm not one of those like, oh, let's tell you all about the things of how to become a 7-figure coach. That's great. We do that also. But what I know is that is all the outpicturing. The only abundance, monetary, like the true abundance, true prosperity always is just source. It is source is the true essence of who we are. And so if we're having a lack of abundance as far as monetarily, money, material, any of that, it's because there's a lack of where the true source is. That is it. We have placed the power out there. We've created ourselves less empowered than what we've handed our power over. We've handed our power over to the world. We've handed our power over to money. We've handed our power over to keeping up with the Jones. We've handed our power at some level. And right now, right here, I invite you to declare within your heart that it's possible. It's only possible. It is destiny. If you truly desire it and you commit to service and bringing your purpose and legacy to the world, monetization is part of that destiny. That is just the effect of the cause, the first cause, which we teach, which is spirit, which is you, which is the true essence of who you are. So today I'm going to break on down, and for the first time ever, I'm actually pulling back the curtain on my entire methodology, and this is a system that now has been, it's been massaged, it's been worked, it's been proven. We recognize that this is a proven system now. And so I'm really excited to basically show you the strategy of how to become, your CEO of your personal professional life with a strategic plan. And so recognizing this, I have helped develop many women and a few men to become 10,000 monthly coaches, doing what they love to do. And so believe me, I know a thing or two about what works and what doesn't work. After 25 years of seeking truth, I've developed a methodology that really works, develop spiritual coaches, soulpreneurs, and so on, and world-renowned spiritual leaders to grow their coaching business. Okay, so I invite you to really take some notes, really think about this mastery, and whether you choose to get involved with Society and New Thought Global, or whether you take it out to your own practice and your own methodology, that there's gems here, there's gold here, there's diamonds here, and the system we use for business development is used by the top 1% of coaches in the industry to grow their businesses. 6, 7, 8-figure coaches use this exact system. Okay. So this is why I created a 3-day live online immersive challenge. This is why I created the 3-day challenge to monetize as a spiritual coach. Okay. It's everything you need to grow your spiritual coach business online this year, right now. So for the first time ever, outside of my high level coaching, I'm revealing the exact system I use to develop and train coaches, okay? And how I have used it on celebrities and top CEOs, and why I was able to get the Walden Wisdom Award next to Oprah Winfrey and Greg Braden and people like that, because I've worked hard, you guys. That's the truth, okay? I was a broke, young, single mother, struggling to even, put food on the table. Literally went to the thrift store for my son's clothes. Okay. So trust me, if I can become a self-made millionaire and a world-renowned spiritual leader, it is possible for anybody. Trust me. Okay. I was dyslexic growing up. I did not have great education in my elementary school. I did not have, a great support system, none of the above. So let's break this on down. Okay. So let's take a deep breath in and exhale out. And if you're writing notes, I want you to put 3 circles on your paper right now. Okay. And the 3 circles, inside of the circles, these are the 3 pillars that we use within Society and in my methodology, okay? It has been developed for years and years and years. And then the first circle is spiritual mastery. We recognize that everything is built upon our spiritual nature. Without awakening ourselves, without transforming our trauma, without reprogramming the subconscious mind, without releasing the limited beliefs, nothing is possible. Spiritual mastery is first, because it's important to birth your purpose and calling, birth your legacy. I've worked with so many 7-figure coaches and top CEOs, and we do the exact same work. They actually have to shift and pivot from what they're doing because they haven't gotten clear of what they really care about in this life. They haven't gotten clear of what their core principles are. They haven't gotten clear of what their actual legacy that they want to leave. So this work has to be done. So you might as well do it first. It's always best to do it first, right? Spiritual mastery. As the saying goes, but seek ye first the knowledge but seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. And of course, you know me, I got to change it. But seek ye first the queendom of God and her righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Righteousness isn't like better than. Righteousness means that you're in right mind. If you're not in right mind, and if you don't know that all abundance and all prosperity begins within and only is created from within, then I don't care how much skill set you get in the business. It's not going to be built on a good foundation. It's like building a house with a really crappy foundation. It's going to start crumbling. It's going to start giving you a lot of problems. It's not going to work, and it will not be sustainable. So in the first circle is spiritual mastery. Okay. In the second circle is business mastery. We recognize that business mastery, we have to have skill set. We can be all awakened. You can be up with divine. You can have all these supernatural, natural abilities turn on. But if you don't have 2 feet on the ground and understand strategically how to do this, it's not going to work. Okay. So I'm going to actually, we teach a proven, trusted system. Okay. That 6, 7, 8-figure coaches use. You're learning, the whole system of what it means to build a funnel, whether you are a brand new coach and with not even one client, or whether you are a 7-figure, 8-figure coach, it is the exact same system. Okay. Walking you through these step-by-step processes of understanding how to really be seen and position yourself as an expert, being able to actually bring value to people and have them experience you and have you take them through your transformational work, and then being able to actually make an offer and then be able to, upsell or downsell, whatever it is. Okay. It is very strategic. Okay. And then the third circle, I want you to write in there community mastery. And this is something that I think not a lot of people talk about, but it is absolutely a must. If you're going to become successful as a spiritual coach or successful in anything in life, in your personal, professional life, you have to be able to deal with relationships. And you also have to realize that this is a masterclass, this thing called life. So in our community, we recognize that it's a divinely guided program, all of our programs, and that whatever comes up for somebody, whether they're triggered, whether they want to make the program wrong, whether they don't like a personality, whether they get overwhelmed or frustrated, or whatever comes up for them, that is the exact thing that they need to break through. That's the exact thing that they need to transform. That if you want to really step into being a world-renowned spiritual coach or leader or whatever it is, that you have to be able to deal with life. Basically, if you want to take a look at people who are unsuccessful, they basically make everyone wrong. They divide, they isolate, it's like they constantly they're just pushing themselves into a corner. They take their own powers away. And if you take a look at successful people, what happens is they build upon what does work in relationship. They always focus on solution. And they keep showing up. There are their word, and so on and so forth. So the third pillar of community mastery is a must. So if you're not in a community, whether you choose to become part of Society New Thought Global community, or whether you go find one, or what I actually help in our program, I help people develop their own communities, because it's imperative. As you rise, you will be developing your own community, but it really helps to be a part of a community to understand how it works and what you like out of it and what you don't like out of it, and getting developed and getting tested and getting triggered and getting all those things so that you can look at that and still show up. That's called commitment. Okay. All these 3 pillars, none of these 3 pillars work if there's not commitment. Commitment is the core thing. So right now and right here, I want you to write down on your paper, really thinking about this. On a level 1 to 10, how committed are you to monetizing your passion for spirituality? And maybe you're like, I don't want to monetize. Then don't. It's fine. You can listen to this anyway, because you're going to get a lot of nuggets out of it. But our community is really for people who are committed to taking truth out to the world. So we work with spiritual entrepreneurs, spiritual coaches, develop spiritual leaders, because I am determined. Our mission is to awaken 1 billion people together. Okay. So if you're not 100% committed, then it's fine. Just know that, why torture yourself with your goals? You know what I mean? Like, why torture yourself with your goals? So if you are not a 10 in your commitment, then you may want to actually really dive just deep into your spiritual work without even have the conversation of, should I monetize this or should I not monetize this, right? Because you're just wasting your energy. You should be using your energy strictly to just do your awakening and transformation process, okay, which we do in this program, which we do in our community. We dive so deep into the spiritual awakening. I believe we have some of the best methods, E4 trauma method, and all kinds of stuff that is just mind-blowing. But back to it, the point is this. You have these 3 circles. Now on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you? And if you're a 10, bam, let's do this thing. If you're not a 10, you can still listen to this, but I know that you definitely need to get into your own inner work to birth what you really care about. We birth purpose and calling through our inner work by transforming trauma. That is how we birth someone's purpose. And until you've done that work, you will not be 100% committed, because you will not fully have had triumph over your trials. You will not know what you're here to do from a DNA perspective, from a completing your cycles, from healing your lineage. You get so convicted, and 1,000% committed is where I want my clients to be. Okay, so you've got these 3 circles. So let's break this on down in my entire methodology, knowing that this is coming from the metaphysics of mind. I'm a doctor of divinity in basically, science of mind and unity in metaphysics, in universal law. I got my doctorate and wrote it on the E4 trauma method. This is all about energy. It's backing up, knowing that you are the cause, you are spirit, you are one with everything. And that is our divinity. Our divinity is the unity, is the divine between everything. It's, instead of divided, you're divine. You're it's like a vine that's going through everything. And everything is a cause and effect. Everything is creation from your soul. You are the individual use of the one mind. And so the only limitation that you have is what is created in your DNA, what you've created from a spiritual perspective to limit yourself, to constrict the DNA, to not be read. And so our work is to really literally free the soul, to literally free and unbound the DNA so that you can fully be expressed as a spiritual being, fully empowered, fully in the light of who you are. That is the product that we're producing. We're not producing, to get a 7-figure coach. We're producing you, the highest version of you. And in that, prosperity, abundance, clients, community, all the things that is natural to have. Okay. So let's break this on down. So spiritual mastery, our framework and the step-by-step process of whether you are dealing and we're taking your own client through transformation, or whether you are going to be doing your own work on yourself, because this is the deal. Your first client is you. Your first client is you. Your hardest client is you. You're working with yourself for your entire life. You are your primary client, okay? So how do we do this? Well, we want to reprogram the subconscious mind. And how do we do that? So there's 3 ways of reprogramming the subconscious mind. Number 1 way is by neutralizing the negative traumatic incidences and the limiting beliefs, basically, that are impinged upon the soul. They're actually tags on the DNA. Okay, so we want to release those. We want to neutralize that. That's the first way that we can reprogram the subconscious mind, is basically by clearing it out. Take that garbage out, girl. It's gone, right? Second way of reprogramming the subconscious mind is by directing it. We call this spoken word. We call it affirmative mind treatment. We call it, you can call it incantations. You can call it powerful affirmations, but it is spoken. It is spoken. It is like convicted. It is moving energy upon universal law. Okay. That's the second way that we reprogram the subconscious mind. The third way that we reprogram the subconscious mind is by our daily habits. Every single thought that we energize, every single word that we speak, every single action that we take. It's, of course, merging in our meditation and our prayer and all that. But that is the 3 ways. And so that is what we have to look at. So we have to take a look also of creating the gap, realizing that where are we now and where do we want to be, right? So in awakening, in clearing out the soul, in discovering the truth, we have to take inventory. So we walk step by step through a 12-week process of what we call the truth triangle. And in the truth triangle, what we do is we, number 1, on the first side of the triangle is power. We restore the true power, the true identity of who you are or who your client is. We do that via the E4 trauma method. We do that via taking inventory, taking back our power, really restoring the truth of who we are. Okay. The second side of the triangle is passion. We want to realize, what are your core values? What really matters to you? How do you put boundaries around people, places, and things, accepting them, but also creating what you truly want to create, which is a passionate life, which is what you love and what matters to you, okay? Dealing with how to deal with upsets, how to deal with quandaries, how to deal with confusion, all those things. The third side of the truth triangle is purpose. And we want to birth your purpose or your client's purpose, because it doesn't matter if they have a career or not. It could be the purpose to have a family. It could be a purpose to, start a career, whatever that is. And the third side of the triangle is super important. For me, it's like the most beautiful work, because what happens is, out of their transforming the trauma, they birth their truth. So there's an actual formula for your life purpose statement, for birthing your purpose, which is the triumph plus your passion plus your skill set. This is the framework we use, okay? So you have to get into transforming healing trauma to have the triumph. So usually it's something like, for example, somebody may have gone through a rape, or they were in very dysfunctional relationships, or they were abandoned as a child, or whatever that may be. When they do their trauma, they begin to recognize how they decided they weren't enough, something was wrong with them, or whatever it was. And in this, they heal and neutralize the trauma. And when they do that, something's born. Trauma minus emotion is wisdom. And they birth a wisdom that can help others on this planet. And it becomes their purpose. It becomes a legacy, whether it be, spiritual coaching, writing books, having podcasts, speaking, making an impact, helping others who've gone through similar situations. And that now you're on the other side and you're able to help them across that bridge. From being the victim, from being sad, from being depressed, from whatever that is, into the light. And just a little disclosure there, if you are dealing with depression or addiction, we highly recommend that you seek medical help. We are unable as a community to do that individualized, that requires some individualized work, okay? So on that note, also with the E4 trauma method, we reserve the right to do that spiritual work. No one has to do the E4 trauma method, even if they're in our program. It is just a freedom of choice. And that we, also say seek medical help if you're dealing with PTSD or something serious, okay? So on that note, so spiritual mastery, the first circle, spiritual mastery, is we take you through the truth triangle. That is our framework. Our framework is the truth triangle, and is a step-by-step process to birth someone's truth, to heal their trauma, to reprogram the subconscious mind, to get clear on their core values, to be able to set boundaries on people, places, and things, accepting life, people, and circumstances exactly as they are. It is getting clear of your core commitments, being able to deal with upset, sadness, confusion, problems, doing also past life regressions, and birthing your purpose and calling, creating your life purpose statement. So that's our framework, you guys. It's incredible. I have witnessed so many miracles. It's so cool to have all the women and a few men do, these processes in the spiritual coaching. And what happens is they do the different processes on one another, and they do their own healing, and then they get testimonials for one another. So now they have not only, embodied work and understood how the subconscious works and reprogram the subconscious mind, all the stuff, they have done their own healing, and they've gotten testimonials. So now they're actually, teed up as showing proof out there in the world to get clients as well. It's an incredible program. Okay, so that is spiritual mastery. That is based off of years and years and years and years of my own, doing different programs, working with gurus, going through Doctor of Divinity, going through shamanism, going through leadership programs, going through Kundalini yoga, going through every modality I could get my hands on. And what happened was I was like, what are we really doing here? And I had to break it on down. This methodology, the truth triangle, was years and years in the making, working with individual clients, working with top celebrities, working with all kinds of people to build and develop and birth this framework. And it works, and it works, and it works, and it works. I witness over and again. And what you'll find out there in the world is whether you're dealing with the top, coach that's dealing with pro athletes, whatever, they all say the same thing. You're dealing with two things. You're dealing with restoring the true identity, and then finding someone's unique, authentic swing, if you will, okay? And each and every person I've ever heard that's an advanced coach out there will say trauma. What is holding somebody back in their mastery? It's trauma, because trauma is really the one thing that's holding back someone's true identity. And so that is the core work, always, over and over again, okay? So second circle. The second circle is business mastery. Business mastery. I love business. I love my entrepreneurial girlfriends. I just love it. I don't know what it is, but I love it. I love entrepreneurship so much and coaching so much, because the business side of it is very creative, and you have to work hard, and you get tested, and it's self-development. I think that having your own coaching business and entrepreneur business is the greatest self-development course ever created. I truly believe that. So in our business mastery is awesome. What we do is we actually have a framework. Again, it's a 12-week framework because we actually train like CEOs do. It's a 12-week process. And then we basically take a break every 12 weeks because as a CEO of your personal professional life, as a spiritual coach, you want to take a break and you want to reflect. You want to take a look at what you have actually created, what goals you've hit, and what's going on, and how to restore that, for yourself. And so we want to make sure that we're doing that, right? So in this, what do we do? The primary work that we're doing in business mastery is we're teaching you the ultimate funnel. That's actually what we're truly doing. Okay. So in this, we're positioning you. We're positioning you. So the first part of the funnel is becoming an expert. Position yourself as an expert. And that's done through things like posting on social media, eventually being interviewed on a podcast, having your own podcast, having your own show, or being on a show. You position yourself through showing that you're giving talks. You position yourself by showing proof that you work with clients. You position yourself through blogging, through all kinds of stuff. This is called the first step, which is positioning yourself. Okay, and this is this is ongoing. This is not like you stop doing this. You start where you start, and you always are growing it. I'm always developing my positioning in the market as an expert in the field, right? So next is the second one is a freebie. So the second is we train you how to create freebies that are in alignment with your specific demographic, your specific avatar. So this is all about giving a freebie. Like, for example, we have a quiz that we give out that's a freebie in exchange for our clients' information, right? So if you're on this podcast, you probably either found me on social media or got a freebie or referred or whatever it is. So you're now, if this is free, obviously you didn't put in an email for this, but some of you guys put in an email and then through an email blast or whatever, then you got, this link to this or whatever that is, right? Or maybe you stumbled on the website or whatever that is. So a freebie is things like download a free worksheet, download a free blueprint. Here's a free meditation. Here's a free video. Here's a free whatever it may be. Okay, that's called a freebie. That's the second step that we train and develop you in, okay? The third step is getting clear on a value system. So you teach a value. So that's why we do 5-day challenges. We do different free events. It could be anything interactive. It's really so people can actually experience your work. And then the fourth one is offer. We train and develop you how to make offers, how to juxtaposition it, and you're basically doing it either from a stage, you're doing it from a discovery call or sales call, you're doing it through a webinar, maybe an evergreen webinar, whatever that is. And the next is having an upsell and a downsell. Okay. So these are all the things, but what we're teaching you really in business mastery is what is most important is your mission and message. What is your mission and message? What are your products and pricing? Who's your client? What's your avatar? What do they care about? What are their pain points, right? And then we get into, that funnel, really developing your funnel for an expression. And we teach a gradient in the spiritual mastery. We teach a gradient because what we find is that people, you need to go through the process. It's like being a baby, and you don't run before you crawl, right? Because you need to crawl because you need to develop those muscles. And same with being a spiritual coach. You don't want to necessarily create a course until you've done one-on-ones because you need to learn what works and what doesn't work. And you don't want to put a course out there that doesn't work, right? So there's an entire process and a framework, and this is our framework. We take you through 12 weeks, developing you from everything from your mission and message to creating your products and pricing, to beginning to get into the marketing and social media. You've got to learn how to do your social media. You've got to learn those 6 parts of that funnel. And it's important to have a strategy. And so in the 3-day challenge, the free 3-day challenge, I'm actually going to walk you through creating your personalized step-by-step action plan to walk through all these things. And you may not have all the answers now, but you're going to learn how to create your own personalized step-by-step action plan, how to create your first funnel. It doesn't matter if you've never done it before, you can do it. Okay. And so that's business mastery. Business mastery is always mastery. We're growing all the time as business owners and as spiritual coaches. It never ends. The online world is amazing and a beast. You definitely need to get a coach. I did not know how to monetize for forever. It felt like until I got a great a coach online. Because the online world, you can figure it out yourself, but it's going to take you a lot more time, and it's very frustrating if you don't know what is working for people. And it's important. So whether you get involved with me or you find another one, I highly, highly recommend a coach. I would never say for someone to start a business online without a coach. It would be a really tough road. Okay. So that's it. So that's business mastery. And then next is community mastery. Thomas Troward is brilliant in that he's a New Thought teacher, and we're in the lineage of New Thought movement. We teach the metaphysics. We teach the divine power within. We teach that divinity. And how are you going to experience your full divinity if you don't connect with human beings, if you don't grow in community? And so in community, it's important to have accountability. It's important to have guidelines, right? So it doesn't matter if you're dealing with your business community or your family or your friends or whatever. The communities that thrive are ones that do have a purpose. What is the commonality? And I think right now in history, what's happening energetically from a spiritual perspective is we literally are going to a global community. We are actually, a lot of the lineage in families is being broken also as well, because people need to be around like-minded people to survive and thrive. And so a good community, whether it's be your family or your friends or a community you're building, needs structure. We said the first principle of heaven is order. And the same principle with your business is organization. So if you don't have organization and order, it's not going to work very well. So in community, it's important to have structure. We have rules and guidelines. We have a zero negativity rule, no gossiping, no triangulation. It is like a virus that can go through a community, right? We have guidelines, which means that we want to keep things sacred. What is heard in our community. We share a lot of very intimate things on our calls. People go through trauma incidences, and it's important to keep it confidential. We have rules, we have guidelines, and we will absolutely kick somebody out if they're not in alignment, because it's my job as a leader to have a sacred, safe space for people and to hold them. We're holding the most important thing of your community or of our community and developing. So even in our programs, I help people learn how to develop their own communities. And part of it is understanding yourself. So every time there's any kind of an incident with anybody in the community, which is very rare, I'm like, it's great because it means I have to get more clear on my principles and my procedures as a company, as a community. And so it's always a blessing. It is a masterclass. It's a masterclass. So community mastery is imperative. We have accountability. We post 3 times a week in the group. We have our goals and our life purpose statement. And we have one goal in the 4 areas of our life, in our money and career, in our relationships and love, in our health and vitality and our creative expression. Every Monday, people post a picture and they write down their life purpose statement and the one goal in the 4 areas of life. On Wednesday, they post a long copy post, which is basically their one piece of content to position themselves as an expert. So this long copy post could be something they're posting on social media. It could be the same conversation they're having on their podcast. It could be the same thing that's going to go into a book that they're creating. It is one piece of content. As an expert in positioning yourself, you need to create a piece of content every week, okay? And then also on Fridays, we do wins. It's very important to celebrate. We do testimonials. We also do feedback. So instead of complaining, people can create, and ask what they'd like to have in the community. Instead of focusing on what's wrong, you focus on what you want to create, right? So these are the accountability. And then, of course, we have live group coaching calls multiple times a week. We have soul circle calls as fellowship and sisterhood. We have support calls. We have the best community. I'm sorry, but we just do. I just think that we do. So this is the deal. How do you monetize as a spiritual coach? You monetize as a spiritual coach in one way and one way only. And it's embodiment. You have to embody the highest version of yourself. You have to embody the skill set, and you have to embody being somebody who's able to deal with relationships and community. And in that, the sky's the limit. We've got this online thing called the World Wide Web, and there are billions of people on this planet that need transformation, that need to end suffering, that need awakening. and that also need business development. So as a spiritual coach, you also get certified as a business coach as well. And so I just know right now, right here, the perfection of all the wisdom. I am so grateful. I'm so grateful as this garbage truck goes by outside with loud noises in Los Angeles, the perfection of life, the perfection of exactly where we are, the perfection of every last drop. I'm so grateful for the suffering that I went through. I'm so grateful for the trauma that I went through. I'm so grateful for being frustrated in business. I'm so grateful for all those times, because without that, I would not know how good I have it now. I am so grateful. Without that, I would never have been birthed the purpose that I have to awaken others. I recognize that whatever you've gone through, whatever trauma, whatever heartache, whatever suffering you've gone through is your greatest blessing, because that becomes your purpose and calling. And that is called fulfillment. That is called being able to be in service of truth, of light and love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to be able to stand on the shoulders of the great men and women who have taught the power of mind, the truth of who we are, the great spiritual I am. And in this knowingness of who I am, I recognize, I choose and declare right now to develop the world-class spiritual coaches, world-class entrepreneurs, world-class human beings that heal their lineage, that get to create something new, a new thought, a new life, a new world. And so I just say thank you, thank you, thank you. As together we say, and so it is. So if you are listening to this and you want to check out the 3-day challenge, it will be in the notes here. You can also go to soulciety.com, soulciete.com. You can also find me across all social media as drerin.tv, which is drerin.tv. And you can sign up for the 3-day challenge. It's in my bio link on social media. It's on the homepage of Soulciety, and you can also find us on Facebook. You can go to Dr. Erin. You'll find it on there as well. Okay? You guys have a beautiful day, and may you live your truth. Thank you for tuning in to Soulciety and Dr. Erin podcast. If you've had a calling to be a spiritual leader or coach, you can go to soulciety.com and check out our free training. If you've received value here, I would love it if you take a moment and give a 5-star review. In exchange, I have a ton of free gifts for you. Grab your free Awakening book, 40 guided meditations, and digital manifesting masterclass. I also have a free money meditation and worksheet for you so you can begin to break through your scarcity mindset and claim your birthright of prosperity. You can get all of your gifts and learn about our upcoming transformational events in my bio link in both Instagram and Facebook. That's under drerin.tv, which is drein.tv. Also, I'd love to invite you into our free private community on Facebook under groups called Soulciety. That is facebook.com/groups/Soulciety. That's SOULCIETE. Have a divine day, and may you live your truth.